shelves. I still have the vision of I need more storage in my pantry. Yo, the amount of stuff I have in this pantry has been eye-opening. It's day one of demo day and I have to use my good old gloves. I'm removing the shelves, which has proven to be a tougher challenge than expected. I used a mallet to loosen the shelves, but not before using a combination of painter's knife to cut through the thick caulking and a crowbar to fit in the tiny seams to pull the 1x2 wood away from the wall. So hopefully I can fix it. Day 2 was all about patchwork and applying joint compound to ripped drywall areas as well as those open corners previously disguised by caulk. All supplies will be linked in the description, including the joint compound I also used when I DIY'd my upcycled thrift art piece, which is also linked here and in the description. Now that the joint compound has had a chance to dry, I'm going through with my sander to get the wall as smooth as possible with a 320 grit sandpaper. My goal is to have it smooth enough, though I'll be adding some knockdown texture before painting. that will take place a little later in the video, so keep watching. Okay, so this is a shelf.
Yeah.
This is a shelf and this is a shelf. And then 1, 2, 3. This is my cubbies. And then the cabinet.
And then the open space.
And the open space over there. Okay. Let me get a little snapshot of that.
Alright, I can just send it to Yara.
Alright, get to send it to me. Okay, so here is the game plan. I have measured and taped what I think needs to be happening. Right now I'm going to go ahead and get started on making the base for the pantry structure that's going to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out how much needs to be cut out of the baseboard. I was going to take all of the baseboards out, but no need to do that. I'm just going to get my multi-tool and go ahead and cut based on the measurements. But first, another round of tackling caulk removal. Now I must say, even though this is a pain, it's a really good thing too, because you definitely want to know your potential areas of exposure are well sealed. And that's just in my humble novice DIY experience. I strongly suggest you still go and look this stuff up. Now, if you're still hanging in there with me and haven't hit that subscribe button yet, go ahead, click subscribe. Give me a thumbs up for what you've seen thus far and keep watching, because there's definitely more to come with this DIY pantry. This message is for the single mom who may not think you have what it takes to pick up a tool and start remodeling yourself. I don't come from a family with a background in carpentry. I pray about a project, research it. Sometimes I even cry about some things when I think I've gotten in far over my head. And then I pray some more, and every time God reminds me that He created me for a time such as this. Even this DIY is part of ministry and God's love. Remember, you are loved and well equipped to do the hard things. So just be willing to try some things and relaunch others. I finished cutting out the side baseboard and will come back to remove the back wall baseboard. The rule is measure twice, cut once. But for this novice DIY of home renovations, the rule is measure 50 million times. I needed to make cuts to a 2x4 to begin making my base. I'm cutting on my DIY workbench that I'm very proud of that I made a while back, and you can watch that video linked here and linked in the description. Now we're moving into the sanding stage of this DIY pantry cabinet build. I want the pantry box to be smooth and fully prepped so it's ready for paint when I get to that part of the project. Good sanding makes all the difference in a clean, professional looking finish, so this step is worth taking your time on. I've linked every tool I'm using for this DIY pantry cabinet build in the description. You can shop my like to know page and my Lowe's partner links to grab the exact supplies, power tools, and materials I'm using in this project. If you're planning your own pantry makeover or small space renovation, definitely check out those links to get everything you need.
Let's keep this going on and on. Crack open models on and on and on and on and caught up in the moment, feels just like I'm dreaming, just like I'm dreaming. Ooh, got me so in love with the summer days. Ooh, got me feeling.
It's day, whatever day we're on at this point. I don't know. Between working full-time and chauffeuring my teeny bopper to practices and events, this DIY pantry cabinet had to take a little pause. But I finally made it back into my garage workshop, and today I'm cutting the back support pieces that will anchor this pantry box directly into the wall studs. Busy mom life might slow me down, but it's not stopping this pantry makeover because, baby, I already tore all those shelves out. So I gotta get this thing up and running.
Ooh, got me feeling dizzy from the summer haze. Cause we got the sunshine by the poolside. Such a fun time living for the hot life. Bring the right vibe.
To attach the support pieces for this DIY pantry cabinet, I'm using pocket hole screws made with my Craig pocket hole jig. It gives me strong, clean joints and makes the whole build way more secure. And just like everything else I'm using in this project, the tools and materials are linked in the description if you want to grab them for your own home renovation or woodworking projects.
And the tan lines, keep the free line, yeah. Cause we got the sunshine on the poolside. Such a fun time living for the hot life.
Just for a second, let's put this thing in rewind. So before I have to go out to the next million activity with my child, I want to go ahead and try my best to get my pocket holes put in and at least get a shell of my pantry box made. I still have to do the shelves, so I need to make the cuts for those. And for me, a lot of times what I notice is that a lot of people go ahead and they do all of their cuts at once. That has not worked in my favor in the past, so I'm not going to do that until I get a little bit more comfortable with my cutting skills. So on that note, I'm going to switch back to voiceover and let's get into it. I've already measured and cut the top and bottom panels for this DIY pantry box, and now I'm marking where I want to drill the pocket holes so I can attach everything and build out the frame.
Strawberry on my lips and your fingertips. I can feel the beat running through the speakers. Blue skies, blue waves, every day's a good day. Lazy Sunday afternoon.
I'm using my Craig pocket hole jig, which honestly is one of my favorite woodworking tools because it makes adding strong, clean screws so much easier. It's a game changer for beginner and budget-friendly home renovation projects.
Take Monday off too. Ooh, got me so in love with the summer days. Ooh, got me feeling dizzy from the summer haze. Cause we got the sunshine from the poolside. Such a fun time living for the hot life. The right vibe and the tan line, keep the free mind, yeah. Cause we got the sunshine on the poolside. Such a fun time living for the hot life. Bring the right vibes and the tan lines, keep a free mind, yeah. on repeat. You can beat this feeling, this feeling. Let's keep this going on and on. Crack open bottles on and on and on and on and. Caught up in the moment, feels just like I'm dreaming, just like I'm dreaming. Ooh, got me so in love with the summer days. Ooh, got me feeling dizzy from the summer haze. 'Cause we got the sunshine of the poolside.
Now that the frame of my DIY pantry box is built, I'm tackling shelf pin holes for the very first time. These adjustable shelves are where I'll be storing some of my larger kitchen appliances, so getting this step right is key for strong, customizable storage. It's a little intimidating as a beginner, but learning new woodworking skills is exactly why I took on this pantry cabinet project. To go to work in the morning, but I just want to get as much of this pantry cabinet done as I possibly can. So I'm getting back in here and I'm going to drill these shelf pin holes. I hope that this doesn't bite me in the butt. I definitely did not have the corporate girly strength to drag my tripod around just to film myself wrestling with this giant pantry cabinet through the house. Some days I'm closing spreadsheets. Other days I'm out here negotiating with plywood. And honestly, the plywood usually wins. This is one of those moments where you either call for help or wait for your teeny bopper to get out of practice and pretend they're your personal moving crew. But that's a whole saga for another segment. What matters is the pantry box finally made it inside and onto the base I built earlier in the video. Now I'm going to get ready to mount it directly into the wall studs. Before I even started this pantry cabinet build, I mapped out all of my studs with the stud finder. I'll link my favorite one in the description if you're planning your own home renovation glow up. But now I'm a little curious. Which part of DIY life tests your patience more? The heavy lifting or the constant, why is this not level moments? I feel like every DIYer has a story. Now, I previously measured where I wanted the next screw to go as far as going into the stud was concerned, and let me forewarn you, this is not going to be centered, but I'm not very concerned about the placement of the screw because once I paint the pantry cabinet, you won't even be able to see this, especially when I store stuff on this particular shelf since it's so high. Now I'm cutting the first shelf for the adjustable shelving inside this pantry cabinet. I added those shelf pin holes earlier so I can easily change the height depending on what I'm storing, especially those taller kitchen appliances. I'm doing a dry fit with this one shelf before cutting the rest because plywood is too expensive to waste and I want every piece to fit. People, tight space here, but I have this board that I'm hoping will fit this shelf, and I need to get the pinholes and ooh, I think I cut it too short. It's so pretty though. I cut it too short and it's baby, are you square? It's not even. What's going on? I'm still gonna Hold on. Let's get our little tester pen. Shelf. Is that even? No. I think I'm missing one. Shoot. I can't tell. Okay. Let me see this way. Okay, let me see. No? You don't want to stay in? Okay. Let's try a different one. Maybe a hold down? Another hold down? Hold on. We'll be right back. Remember earlier when I said DIY projects sometimes have me questioning all my life choices? Yeah, this was that moment. I cut the shelf for a dry fit, slid it in, and it absolutely did not fit. At this point in pantry cabinet build, I was tired of cutting, tired of measuring, and honestly just wanted this whole project finished. So I had to sit, breathe, and reset before trying again. Now I'm wondering, what's that moment in your DIY or home project where you had to pause before you lost it? I know I'm not the only one. So again, this space is very tight. What I did was fill with wood filler every single shelf pinhole that I made. I'm letting the wood filler dry, then I'll go back and I will sand over it to smooth it out. I kind of started sanding right here. Don't know if you can see that. And hope for the best in adding these shelf pins back. Okay, y'all, so this is what it's looking like. This is just a board from the old pantry that I'm going to use for my shelving to measure it. I'm going to use this board as a guide, but right now I just placed in these so that I can just get a sense of where things need to go. Like I still need to put the brackets over here. I'll stop fooling with this, y'all, for a hot second. It was getting on my nerves. But we're gonna come and we're gonna see if we can get these shelves in, or at least get this in, and then build it up. So stay tuned because we got a ways to go. I'm working on the pantry shelf, and what I noticed is this right here is wiggly because there's no stud back here. So I think my solution to that is going to be there's a stud in this corner. So I think I'm going to take a 1x3 or just another wood piece to put under there, place under here to give this some support, but not before I fill in everything down here underneath. But going forward, what I'm going to do is cut this leg longer and this one shorter, this back piece shorter. I just don't want to take this whole thing apart because then I have to go through all of that to make cuts. So going forward, I'll have it longer on this wall, and so this piece will be longer. Hope that makes sense. But I'm tired of being in here, but it's coming along. I hope. My pantry originally had only 4 shelves, which left so much wasted space at the top. So I'm adding a 5th shelf for extra storage. And if you've watched the earlier segments, you've also seen me build my DIY pantry cabinet that will have adjustable shelving for my larger appliances. Right now, I'm drilling pilot holes, leveling the frame, and using clamps as my extra set of hands, because crooked shelves just is not the part of this pantry makeover. And yes, I'm still a measure as I go, measure it 50 million times DIYer, so these frames did take me forever. Between mom life and my full-time corporate career, this project has been a journey to say the least. In part 2, I'll finish the shelves where I will include a surprise material. And I'll bring everything together with a gorgeous stain and a pantry color that feels warm and dreamy. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the reveal. Step in pantry, but I'm your girl Kim, your resident DIY trier, trying home renovation DIYs in real time while living real life at the same time. Watch and subscribe now. Make it so that it has more flow, more organization, and more storage. That's really the number one thing, more storage. But before I can get started, you need to go ahead and change. Okay, so let's talk about it right quick. I did finish cleaning out the pantry and I wiped down all the shelves, blah, blah, blah. Even though I am going to try my best to repurpose and reuse these shelves, I still have the vision of I need more storage in my pantry. Yo, the amount of stuff I have in this pantry has been eye-opening. It's day one of demo day and I have to use my good old gloves. I'm removing the shelves, which has proven to be a tougher challenge than expected. I used a mallet to loosen the shelves, but not before using a combination of painter's knife to cut through the thick caulking and a crowbar to fit in the tiny seams to pull the 1x2 wood away from the wall.
So hopefully I can fix that.
Day 2 was all about patchwork and applying joint compound to ripped drywall areas as well as those open corners previously disguised by caulk. All supplies will be linked in the description, including the joint compound I also used when I DIY'd my upcycled thrift art piece, which is also linked here and in the description. Now that the joint compound has had a chance to dry, I'm going through with my sander to get the wall as smooth as possible with a 320 grit sandpaper. My goal is to have it smooth enough, though I'll be adding some knockdown texture before painting. That will take place a little later in the video, so keep watching.